Welcome back to Siren Blood Curse, where the training wheels are about to be yanked out from under us. Things are about to get much more difficult and much scarier here in episode 3.
Are you kidding me? Where those bunch of murderers go to pray?
No, you have it all wrong. That was a mistake.
Like I told you before.
Just shut up.
Come on.
I swear you're completely useless. I can find her myself.
What is this?
Run! Don't look back! It's just like hide and seek, so hide somewhere good, okay? I promise I'll come and find you.
There's no such thing as a boogeyman. Daddy said they don't exist. They don't exist!
They've been playing that boogeyman trailer moment since the first episode. We're finally going to see what it's all about as we play as Bella. Just tossing us right into the deep end. Last time we were Sam with a bloodthirsty, wrench-armed Melissa and a gun. Now we have to play as the little kid in a new area we've never explored before. Like I said, right into the deep end. So, more information on how to use the map, and we damn well better be able to use the map at this point. But we start out in a nice, safe spot, at least. No information on how we got all the way back here, because we are pretty deep into the hospital. We're on the second floor, all the way in the back corner. In between two staircases, at least. And an elevator is relatively nearby. But that certainly does not mean we are safe. So what we want to do is call for help from reception. That's our main goal. Reception is below us in the opposite corner. So we've got some work ahead of us. And of course, we need to start out by sightjacking, which luckily Bella has also mastered, despite not having a tutorial. So right there, we can see someone on the same floor as us. We'll have to pay extra close attention to that one. Someone below us, and another person staring at a wall or something. Someone with a scalpel. Yeah, we'll just stick with this one for now. It's the only immediate threat. And of course, we will have to leave the safety of this one empty room we've managed to find. And this staircase only leads up. We do not need to go up. And it's dead end anyway. Locked door here. Not only can Bella not hold any weapons, she can barely open any doors. So the one we have targeted appears to be right at reception here. Our only hope is to sneak past the edge of the reception desk, because she does not appear to be turning away ever. So there's Bella's head in her sightjack screen. We're practically making eye contact right now, but she is inobservant, and we escape. Call the elevator, just in case. The elevator has a guy in it, so we won't be using that. But it might be for the better that we have that guy up on the second floor, where we no longer are. Now that we're down on the first floor, we don't need to watch the reception desk, nurse. We do have the one with the knife. There's the guy in the elevator. Turns out that's who we checked out a little earlier. And someone even further below us. There's also someone over there. I don't know where that is. But this is the closest target. Over in what we are told is the operating room. And if we look around, we'll find the reception desk is blocked off. As is the staircase over here. The only way is through the operating room. There's a flatline heart monitor, adding to the atmosphere. But that's not all. It is serving as a distraction. So we can sneak past. Keep on going. Nothing much to see out here. I don't know why that heart monitor was on. Storyline-wise, it should not have been, because we just got a new sub-goal to distract the Shibito with the vital signs monitor. But that sort of happened automatically before we even arrived. Can't explain it. Luckily, I don't have to. It's just a thing that happened to our benefit. Staircase A at the other end of the basement here. To get back up to the other side of the first floor, where we can finally reach the reception desk. Guess we don't need to check out the operating room nurse anymore. But here's someone else that's on our floor, waiting to cause problems. Can almost sort of see where she is, just around the corner here. She has patrolled her way into a nearby room, where she's just gonna do some paperwork, it looks like. That should keep her busy while we look around. Don't want to call the elevator, there's a Shibito in the elevator. Coming over here is pretty important, though. And it hasn't told us why yet. But if we were to go all the way around to the reception area, we would realize we don't have a key, because the key is right here, next to the incinerator for some reason. They are preparing us early to be thorough explorers in this game, even when it is technically optional, when we're looking for archives and whatnot. Those explorer instincts are beneficial to the main playthrough of each level as well. So we got our key. There are nearby Shibito. That one is the operating room. There's the elevator. Can't say I know who this is. This is the reception desk one on the second floor, it looks like. Or perhaps not. Haven't seen that before. But they are way above us, so we don't need to worry about them. Looks like we don't need to worry about much of anybody at this moment. And here's why we can't just leave the hospital right now. Automatic doors are busted. So we made it to the reception desk. We can continue to wander around, check out the bathrooms. There's nothing to see in the bathrooms. Surprisingly, for a game made by the creator of Silent Hill, Silent Hill has tons of bathroom scares. This game does not. It's a little more restrained in that way. Very unrestrained in many other ways. But for now, we've reached our goal. It wasn't easy. If we'd made any mistake along the way, we would have died instantly. But we didn't, so here we are.
Help! Daddy, Mommy! Where are you? Daddy, Mommy!
Bella!
Huh? So?
Bella! Bella!
I found you! Now you're it!
No!
Well, Soul died, and our distress signal was only picked up by him. Let's keep an eye on him. He seems threatening. But he is trapped outside. Since we can't get out, he can't get in. So, we can see what he's up to, but we don't have to worry about it. We can head right back up this set of stairs, which we've never seen before. They were blocked off earlier. Get us up to the second floor. Up on the other side is where the reception desk is. Head up to the third floor. Soul appears to have broken into the building. So maybe he will be a problem. In fact, he's getting surprisingly close. He is very driven. Most of the Shibito we've seen have not been nearly as aggressive. But we have business to take care of up here on the third floor. That, on the desk there, is a letter. A blood-stained letter. And that is an archive item if I've ever seen one. We need to figure out how to get it. So this nurse looks at the call sign thing. And here we have a terrifying mannequin right behind the door. And this should call the nurse. But she has closed the door to that area. And now she's heading our way, so we are going to have to hide. She's pretty diligent in her search for something which she suspects might be off. Just making the rounds instinctively here in the afterlife. Stuck in a loop. She goes to check that call button, even though it has not been activated. But we know that we have the means to activate it. And now we can safely move around the room at least. Just hoping she doesn't come back this way. Check the call button again. And now she heads out to the balcony. Just to see the sights. And on the balcony, she takes note of a gaping hole in the floor, which leads back to the second floor. Just something to note. Now her cycle should take her back to the office. Come on, unlock it. Nice. Now we need to get her out of there. Obviously we can't get that archive item while she's in there. So we alert her. There's business to take care of over in the patient room. She leaves in quite a hurry and forgets to lock the door behind her. Once she's inside, we can pop out, sneak past, and get into her office. Grab that letter. There is a letter lying here. All we know about it, and all we're gonna know. Now we could jump down that hole over on the balcony. Or we could have a terrifyingly close call with that nurse. Fortunately, she was distracted by needing to lock that door behind her. And she has no reason to turn our way, so our business with her is done. But yeah, jumping down that hole in the balcony is one way to get past her. And a less scary way. But there are other scary things that can happen if you do choose that path. We found Soul. He's here on the second floor. And he's going to check every square inch to try and find us. Unlike the random nurse Shibito, he has personal interest in us. Can sneak past him now while he's in the women's bathroom for some reason. He came right for me. He's got a sixth sense of his own. So yeah, that's what it looks like to die as Bella. Because this game was censored, there are all sorts of rumors about how, like, if you got the uncensored version, they would have graphic death scenes where Bella gets ripped apart by the Shibito. Those do not exist. No matter what version you're playing, Bella just curls up in a ball and gets menaced. And her death is implied. There's a lot of very poor documentation about this game. All sorts of rumors that I hope to clear up as we play through it. Now, we did the whole letter thing, so we are good to go. We can just head to the basement, which is where our actual goal is. Though we should still play it safe. Keep an eye on this lady as she does office work. Little rat run past. Not a problem, though. What we do need to do is distract the Shibito with something in the kitchen. The goals in this game are a little hand-holdy. Maybe that's better than being way too obtuse. But Bella is pretty damn clever. Sets this timer, goes and finds a spot to hide. So she might turn around when that timer goes off. Looks like she's using the door inside the administrative office. And Soul's coming down here. And he found me. Soul is brutal. Not to be underestimated. Like I said, he is out for blood. So if we're even faster, Soul will take his time getting in here. However, the nurse in the administrative office will also take her time getting back to work. So we are kind of sandwiched between Soul's rapid approach and this lady's slow efforts to get back to her own work. There she goes. We can set the alarm. And things should work out the way they were meant to. It is entirely possible to do this all in one go, where you get the letter, then you head all the way back down to the basement, set this timer, and then sneak past the nurse before Soul corners you in the basement. But doing it in segments is also perfectly valid and quite a bit easier. Here's the employee staircase with a cracked open door just big enough for Bella to escape.
Come on, Bella! It's me!
And we're temporarily free. Not that Bella is much safer, but she's safe from Soul for now, because she snuck through a section that he couldn't get through. Let's see where we're going now, because we don't have to worry about Bella anymore.
Bella?
Hey, baby, come on. Don't be shy. Hey! You okay?
Miyako さん、ご自分のお役目を忘れですか？
いや、離せ
Get your hands off of her!
また邪魔する気か？
Wait, you were part of that
That's
ritual.
how it's cursed, you know. She needs to be sacrificed.
私は生贄なんかじゃない。
運命に抗ってみますか？ご自由に。
早く連れてけ。
Soul is starting to seem like kind of a bad guy. And his last words before becoming a Shibito were, "I'll come find you, I promise." Turns out that was a threat. Anyway, onto a completely different set of characters, having their own soap opera drama involving human sacrifice. We're back to Howard Wright, this time meeting Miyako. And confronting the guy that he tackled during the sacrifice ritual that he interrupted. They've had a surprisingly calm reunion there for the murderous intent and the violence that was required to stop it. Anyway, let's finally meet Miyako. In person. We'll be escorting her. We can make her wait for us, then call her to come back to us, but she will ignore those commands if she is in too great of danger. Just an important thing to note. Kinda wish we could just charge out here after the mysterious, well-armed shotgun man. We tackled him once, maybe we could do it again. But for now, we insist on going the other way. Now we have no real lay of the land yet, unless we check our map, which remains excellent. Now, we do have these markers indicating important areas that our characters would have no ability to know about, but they are important nonetheless. They're also distracting. They pull our attention away from various black objects on the map, like this huge splotch right next to us, which, if we turn the map on its side, it's this dead tree here. But if you don't have mastery over the map yet, you just think there's some terrifying void in the middle of this area. Even though a lot of these are not marked, it's still very important to pay close attention to them. So there's that dead tree next to us, and another one slightly up ahead. And bridges, random debris, fuel storage shed, with a branch across the path, meaning we will not be able to cross that path if we do go that way. Like I said, important information. Easy to miss. As good as this map is, it doesn't just tell you everything you need to do. So, let's get to sightjacking. We got someone staring at the ground, not giving us very much information. Another person right next to him doing the same, and a third person. One on patrol, and another over the other way. Surrounded by a large group of digging Shibito. We do not want to go that way, which, if we look, yeah, this path heads up that way, so we don't want to go up this path. I will take my chances with the path that only appears to have one Shibito guarding it. Oh, we scared a crow away. Someone's sneaking nearby. There they are. Luckily, they did not spot me. So, this is why the large tree on the map was important. We are able to climb it. So we are an athletic young basketball player. It is, however, a heavily rotted tree, so Miyako cannot follow. We'll need to reunite with her later. But she immediately gets spotted the second we leave her side. So she's in a huge amount of danger. She will absolutely be killed if we don't hurry. But hurry where? Got a church over here. Nothing can get us into that church right now. So that's not the way. Miyako heads to a dilapidated shed, which we noticed on the map, and braces the door. But the Shibito that spotted her goes and gets his friends. So again, we need to hurry and get ourselves armed. Now I'm going to do a few things here. We're going to see the equipment storage way up ahead. Need to rush over there. Dilapidated shed over at the opposite side of the map. It's going to take some doing to get back to. But we also, well, I also want to disable screen separation. There we go. So now when either our character or one of our allies gets spotted, we do not just automatically have the view of the Shibito who spotted them pop up on our screen, as is enabled by default. It's a kind of useful feature, but it's also rather distracting. So I will rely on manual sight jacking henceforth. Got ourselves an umbrella. Not the ideal weapon. When I first played this level, I ran over to the equipment storage and I was in such a hurry that I ignored all of the items within equipment storage. I just grabbed the very first one I saw, which of course was the umbrella. And by far the worst of the weapons. We want to touch them all for the archive, but we do have to save someone's life right now. So we might not get a chance. Throw axe. We'll take that one. It has axe in the name. It's pretty small, but we'll make it work. Just gotta charge across this hilly land. Difficult to navigate. Slow going so far. But now we can come to an actual path. It's this iron gate. Chop through the lock. One enemy behind me there. They're just holding branches. They don't stand a chance. But we need to hurry up, or Miyako is not going to be able to hold that door much longer. This is not the ideal path. Put one down. They're very distracted, at least. Try our luck with the hand sickle. They're no longer trying to kill Miyako. That guy's the heaviest armed of the bunch. Doesn't do him much good after we slice his leg tendons. Then we can have his shovel, which is a better weapon. Miyako is getting impatient, waiting to be saved. She's that confident in us. Someone she's never met before. So this guy did happen to lead us down a path, which leads to a nice view, and a weird monument, and a book. We like books in this game. An old book written in Japanese. We can only read bits and pieces. Someone will have to translate it for us. Now, we've never actually headed up this way. It leads to that branch across the path, which is a dead end. So, we can climb, I think this is called the fuel shack or something. Luckily Miyako can pull herself up, doesn't need a boost. And we're right back at the church. Made a big loop. I think we are supposed to lead her all the way back through the east field and then through this iron gate. But that is a lot slower than what we just did. And you would miss the archive item if you did that. I think there's only one Shibito, the one we knocked down before. There she is. She jumped down from up there to get to us. Lost so much HP in the fall that she didn't really do anything. And that was it as far as threats. Now we can safely see if we missed anything here. I don't think we did. Hard to tell because everything's just lying on the ground. Pretty sure I grabbed the hacksaw at least once. Maybe we'll need the hacksaw to knock down this tree. Nope. Shoulder tackle it. If we had tried that before reuniting with Miyako, we would have been told you can't do that. As though it required help, but no. Can't do it for plot reasons. This guy happens to lead us away from our goal, which again is a good thing, because it heads us down this mystery path. Just an easy to miss little section. But it is a key step in getting a future archive item. So you want to make sure you do that, or you'll miss stuff way later on. But there we go. Our cohort is with us, and we get to leave. Job well done. Nobody died.
What am I doing here? Please, God. Tell me what I must do next.
まさかここまでとは。また外国人か。
No! Get away from me, son of a bitch!
Again, my apology.
Are you crazy?
But this is a matter of life and death, after all.
Hello? Is anyone there?
So the game took a bit of a risk there, putting us through a forced stealth section and an escort mission in the same episode, this early in the game, right after we just finished up with our tutorials. But they are really, really well designed, and they do show off the strengths of this game, the way sightjacking works, and the way the escorts are self-sufficient to the point of not being suicidal. So if you had your doubts, this game is still pretty damn solid. And I definitely think it gets better from here. We got an umbrella, rain gear consisting of a metal frame with cloth draped over it, forming a canopy to protect the owner from falling rain. This one is less familiar. A wide, thick blade is attached to the end of a wooden handle. This tool is often used for splitting firewood and other woodworking tasks. That hacksaw is actually very small. It's a wood-cutting implement, combines a fine-tooth saw with a handle. The Japanese version is designed to cut on the pull stroke, which I always felt would be like a hint for how to do one of the executions maybe, but no. Just fun fact about hacksaws. The throw axe, a special variety of axe with a long, narrow blade. This particular variety is often used for opening holes in timber. We saw the garden fork, attached to a long wooden handle, perfect for tilling heavier soils, including mud or clay. And then the basically identical garden hoe. Simple blade attached to a long wooden handle, also used for garden tilling. Could have done a lot of damage if we had more victims to play with there. But we did get one execution along the way. Plenty more where that came from. Here's our hospital patient's letter that we really risked our life to go get. And in fact died trying to get. So it says, "I beg of you, please sneak this letter out while the hospital director isn't looking. I don't trust him. Make sure someone outside the village reads it, and whatever you do, you can't let that woman find it. Don't be fooled, she's the one that locked me in here to shut me up. All the proof to back up what I'm telling you is on the enclosed cassette tape. She's not who she says she is. Please hurry, I'm running out. The rest is illegible." Looks like someone was ill-fated in the hospital. And it also looks like screwed up stuff was going on in the hospital even before the zombie outbreak. There is, however, no enclosed cassette tape to provide further information or any proof to verify what he's saying. I don't even know if it's a he. Could be anyone. Melissa Gale's locket was received in a cutscene after we called for help in the reception area. Melissa always wears this locket pendant close to her heart. Inside is a picture of Bella giving a big smile. There is also a letter addressed to her daughter. "Dear Bella, it's Mommy. I'm not sure if Grandma will want you to read this or not, but I'm writing because I miss you so much. I heard from Daddy that you're doing very well in school, and I'm so proud of you. He said your favorite subject is art. Did you know that that was my favorite subject back when I was a young girl, just like you? I really wish I could be there to see you draw all of your wonderful pictures. Daddy sent me one of your drawings a few days ago. It was so great I took a picture of it on my cell phone so I can see it wherever I go. He also sent me a new picture of you. You're such a beautiful young lady. It's hard to believe you're already 10 years old. I'm so sorry we can't be together. I've missed you so much. I've missed so much time with you, and there's no way I will ever be able to make that up. But just always remember that Mommy loves you more than anything in this whole world. make sure you listen to your daddy and teachers and be a good girl, okay? We'll see each other again someday soon, I promise. Love, Mommy. No new information, really. Just, the fact that Melissa is kind of an absentee mother who somehow lost custody of Bella to Sam. But, she's trying to make up for it. Now let's learn more about Soul, who has become a horrifying monster. The director of Encounters for the Paranormal TV channel 3333. But we can open up some details here to read a script that Soul wrote. Maybe a pitch for a future episode of Encounters? Doesn't look like it though. It is A Perfect Plan for Love by Soul Jackson. Fade in, interior, fancy French restaurant, lobby, night. A fancy French restaurant. A couple, Soul and Melissa, walk into the lobby. Soul is dressed in a fancy suit, while Melissa is wearing a smart red dress. Melissa soaks in the fine decor of the restaurant. Soul motions to the dining host standing at the entrance podium. I believe I have a reservation. The name's Jackson. Soul Jackson. Oui, monsieur. Right this way. Your table awaits. In the dining room, the dining host guides Soul and Melissa to the best table in the restaurant and pulls Melissa's chair out for her. This place looks expensive. Nothing's too good for the star of Encounters. Time passes as Soul and Melissa eat a delicious, fancy French course meal. After dessert, Soul snaps his fingers to grab the attention of violin players waiting near the table. The violin players draw their bows across the strings and play a romantic melody in perfect unison. Melissa is entranced by the violin playing and overwhelmed by the atmosphere. Soul. Melissa, it's time I told you how I feel. Melissa, what are you talking about, Soul? Soul says, I love you. Soul, I love you too. But I've got a career and a daughter. We're in love. We can make it work. Soul grabs a necklace out of his pocket and shows it to Melissa. We were meant for each other. It's fate. Soul suavely fastens the necklace around Melissa's neck. Melissa's cheeks turn red. Oh, Soul. Fade to black. How romantic. Soul was in love with Melissa. And he apparently amended this script after writing it and printing it out. We can see some red handwritten text there, which we can tell from the text that it was different. It looks like Soul wrote his original confession was, "Did you know that I've always loved you?" or something to that effect. We can see the end of it there scribbled out. But Soul himself writes, it's a bit too strong. I don't want to scare her off, right? Then he says something to correct it that's way too long. But more importantly, over on the other page, it says he pulls a ring out of his coat jacket and shows it to her, and then slips it onto her finger. This script was originally Soul's proposal to Melissa. Melissa, who he has not dated yet, doesn't even know that they're in love. I think she might not necessarily be in love, but Soul is in love with her. He was going to break the news to her by proposing to her at a fancy French restaurant, which amounts to character assassination of Soul. Poor guy, just turned into a horrifying monster, threatening all of our main characters, slashing Melissa with an axe. And then we learn that he's also a weird creep with no sense of what is appropriate for a workplace relationship. Oh well. They did not do him any favors in the characterization department. Made him quite the villain right off the bat. But we also got a local guide to Haunted Village, courtesy of Howard Wright's Exploration. A local guide to Haunted Village. Originally published in 1949, author Hideto Mitomura. visiting guides, and the faith of Hanuta Village. From ancient times, Hanuta Village was believed to lie on the boundary between our world and another. The visitors from this other place were worshipped as gods and sowed the seeds for the town's religion. The first organized worshipping of these visiting gods is believed to date back to a priestess named Miyako. However, at a certain turning point, the people turned from the old god Miyako worshipped to a new one. It was then that the Mana faith came to exist. The primary tenet of the young religion was a central focus on a god named Kaiko sacrificing himself to save the people of the village. This element points to an outside religious influence, but the details about the possible interaction the villagers may have had with people of other faiths is unknown. Although the new religion had secured a firm footing in the town, its believers were forced to go underground when powerful leaders in the greater region began to clamp down on religions that were not state-endorsed. Eventually, the prohibition on the practice of other religions was lifted. A family of wealthy farmers, the Saiga, put their effort into reviving the faith and succeeded in bringing the Mana religion back to the forefront of village life. We were just in Saiga Hospital. That's where we got this patient letter. Location, Saiga Hospital. And apparently Miyako has been around since ancient times or something? Or is a descendant who kept her great-great-great-great-great-grandmother's name? Interesting. The plot thickens. Multiple religions. The most recent of which is one involving the worship of Kaiko, the Mana religion. Guess we'll have to wait to learn more. And we also got Amana's diary right at the very end. This is what she was reading before her hands started shaking and she collapsed to the floor. It's a daily journal faithfully kept by Amana. A scrap of Japanese fabric is delicately wrapped around the book's cover. But within, there is English writing. We can see scroll across the pages. And multiple pages. We're just starting on July 29th, but there are clearly entries from earlier. But July 29th, 1976 is just a few days before the ritual and the apparent wiping out of the entirety of Hanuta. Mana writes, on July 29th, "Why can't I remember anything? Who am I? No matter how hard I try, I just can't recall my former life. I'm going to keep writing this journal to make sure I can at least hold on to the memories I have now." So Mana's an amnesiac. Or at least was, about 5 days ago. The next day, "I wonder where this village's strange religion comes from. Their god is so completely different from the one I believe in, and I often find myself wondering what the villagers are thinking. Sometimes they terrify me, but they did take me in, and I know deep down that they're good people." July 31st. "Yesterday they told me about an ancient village legend. Now I understand why they've been taking such good care of me. They must think I'm the girl with the hair of the sun from the legend." August 1st. "The villagers said that they'll hold the sacred ceremony tomorrow. They also mentioned Miyako, but how is she involved? Apparently Amana is familiar with Miyako. They'll be coming for me tonight, or they'll be coming for me tomorrow night. I have a very bad feeling about this, and I'm scared." August 2nd. "The back of my brooch fell off when I dropped it. I never noticed it before, but on the back there's a strange..." And then it just trails off. Very Lovecraftian in that way, where someone is writing in real time, them losing their memories, losing their mind, and eventually just drifting off into nothingness. So many Lovecraft stories end with ellipses. And they also feature ancient gods that are mysterious and seem to visit small, obscure places, where they result in horrifying stories that cannot be verified by outside sources. Interesting in that way. But that's all the information we have for now about Amana and the Mana religion, a very similar name there. There will be far more mysteries to uncover as our slowly dwindling cast continues to fight for their lives against the Shibito.